for Health on his update with regards to our COVID-19 contained issue. But also, Mr. Speaker, sir, with regards to the update on COVID-19 vaccine, there is no doubt that we must have a collective effort working with government to ensure that COVID-19 vaccine becomes available and accessible to all the people of Fiji. Although we are considered a COVID-19 contained country, however, the risks are still high due to those entering our border, which we must continue to manage with stringent measures. There are lessons to be learned from experience in other countries like the US and UK. Although they have all the necessary resources and logistical arrangements, they still encounter challenges. We urge the government to work and consult very closely with competent authority, WHO, to ensure that the vaccine that will be purchased or donated Fiji's specification and need as a tropical country. We must not accept donations because it is given to us free. We must ensure that it is the right for people. I believe there are a number of vaccines currently available in the market. Therefore, we should not rush and make unnecessary procurement. We must take a precautious approach rather than rushing into the procurement or receiving free vaccines because we are dealing with people's lives. The government should work with all key stakeholders to ensure the efficient and effective way in the acquisition and immunization program. One, we must be very clear in the prioritization of those that will be vaccinated. First, we must be clear public awareness of the program. Two, logistical arrangements must be organized to ensure efficiency and effectiveness. Three, processes and procedures must be in place to minimize delay. Four, better targeting to ensure the accessibility. Five, we must ensure that the right type of vaccine is suitable and appropriate to the need of our people. And lastly, the tender process must be followed, and we should learn from the COP23 which was given to COVIS. In addition to the update of the COVID-19 vaccine, Mr. Speaker, sir, I also wish to raise the question on the restriction of our freedom of movement by the 11 p.m. curfew under the Public Health COVID-19 regulations issued by the Permanent Secretary for Health. Mr. Speaker, sir, there is no scientific evidence to prove that by forcing people to stay home between 11 and 4 a.m. will help in the management and containment of the virus. While we in this chamber are subject to the social distancing rules, this is not the case for the vast majority of Fijians outside of curfew hours, in particular sporting events. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I urge on the Minister and the government to review the curfew, because while the crime rate did reduce briefly, more crime is happening during the day and also because of the curfew. All crime is undesirable, but the curfew cannot be used to reduce crime. It is appropriate for government to increase support for law enforcement rather than locking down the whole nation every evening with this draconian curfew. In closing, Mr. Speaker, sir, I again thank the Honourable Minister for his update, and I thank you for the opportunity, sir.
I thank the Honourable Member for his contribution to the debate. There being no designated speaker from the National Federation Party, we will move on, and I now give the floor for the next ministerial statement to the Minister for Agriculture, Waterways and Environment, the Honourable Dr. Mahendra Reddy. You have the floor, sir.
Mr. Speaker, sir, Honourable Prime Minister, in leader of opposition, members, Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise this morning to inform this August House, through my ministerial statement, the Ministry of Agriculture's response to the devastating impact of TC Yasa and more recently TC Ana on Fiji's agriculture sector.